Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everybody to this session entitled with an implementation of e-homework on one of the courses that we are teaching here in the colleges and institutes, which is ELET102. The course is an engineering course from Electrical and Electronic Department in YIC. And this will be like a session to share with you the experience that we are doing in this course and how this solution or tool is helping us for achieving an excellent outcomes, learning outcomes from the students. With the technology that we are today are facing, there are many solutions that makes our life much easier than it was before. And in the education, things are a little bit different from perspective of being in the traditional classrooms. People used to that settings and scenarios, which makes the change to using technology a little bit slower than other aspects of the life. But with time and after COVID-19, the pandemic effect on the worldwide, this impacted the entire way of thinking from different perspective and different aspect of life, and enforces using technology and distance services from all over the world. This is one of the solutions that sees the light after the COVID-19, and we have alhamdulillah successfully implemented during the COVID-19 and even improve it a lot after the COVID-19. I just want to start with this short introduction before going directly to the blackboard and show you how this implementation has done. Before that, I just want to show you the agenda that I'm planning to go through, and inshallah, hopefully we will go with the time. First, we will start with introduction, which was already done. Now we will move to the pools and see how we organize and structure the pools. Then move to the tests. Then we will create some questions, and I will show some tricks on creation on this perspective. Then we will go to the assignments, see how this is implemented in the assignment. Then we will go to the quizzes, and if somebody is interested to implement it into exams, final or midterm exams, I can discuss this later or outside the session. Then we will go to the grading and how to deal with these implementation in Blackboard. We want to be really practical, and inshallah we will go directly to the blackboard, and I will show part of those implementation. During these sessions we are recording them, and maybe later we will edit the video to hide some informations of some students' names and user ID, but during this session it will be really difficult to hide it. So let's start with the first agenda, and we should go to the pools. So if you go to the course that teaching ELET102, we could go directly to the course tools from here, and going to the almost the end of the list, test, surveys, and pools. If we click on this, then we have the three options. We will cover the pools and the test options. We will start with pools, and here you can see that we have created different group of these pools, and we categorize them from easy, medium, and hard, and this has been created based on chapters of the textbook, or you can categorize it based on the modules in your course. So let's say like this is chapter 11. We have 3 different levels of questions from easy, medium to hard. And similarly, there are 3 categories in chapter 12 and so on till the end of the course. So these are the list of chapters covered in this course. And for each one of these pools, we have different type of questions. So like we have 7 questions, and these questions are multiplied and generate, each type could generate like 30 different copies or 50 different copies, or you can escalate it up to the number that you feel it is okay for you. Like we can create like 20, you can create like 200, you can go with 1000, and the number of questions is based on the number of students that you are serving. So for each of these categories, like easy and hard and medium, you can see that like there are total in chapter 1 we have like 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 6 is like 15 different questions. Each one has like maybe 30 or 50 different copies. In total, you will have 15 into 30, let's say. So you could do the math and find out what is the total number of questions are offered for your students with different variety to cover the different trials and attempts for the students, to make sure that the students are really learning in this chapter. So 15 into 30, it will go up to 450 different questions. If you have like in your sections like 20 students, or if you are serving 2 sections, and this is go up to like 40 different students, 450 in one chapter is really maybe a good estimation in this course. Maybe in different courses you could escalate it up or down based on the situation that you are facing. So this is the first part. If you go like want to see inside this pool, you could see that there are a list of questions, 7 questions, and each question has a certain formula that could produce like let's say like 30 different copies of each questions. So when a student gets into the quiz or into the assignment, he will get a different copy from his colleague or from his classmate, where he could focus more in understanding how to solve the questions and the methodology, how the steps of solving the questions, rather than just copying the final answers. So this is a very short like overview over these pools. Now we have covered that it is categorized with different levels, and then we need to discuss a little bit more about phrasing the text of the questions and the text of the conditions to serve the answers. So if you look at this question in particular, it is asking you to calculate the frequency of a signal with the following period, and this period is given by variable, which is capital T. This variable could be different values of like different 30 like different copies. Like one student will have like 10 microseconds, the other one will get like 20 microseconds, the third one will get like 100 microseconds, and so on. Then the result should be written in kilohertz. So this is the first part, which phrasing the question, and it should be very clear and without creating a difficulty for understanding from different students. And I'm pushing forward to make sure that your questions should be somehow aligned with the textbook that you're using. And simply, some cases you could just go to the problem list at the end of the textbook, at the end of each chapter of the textbook, and you can pick from those questions which is already phrased by the publisher and by the people, and revised, and make sure that the language is really clear to everyone. So like here, convert the following to millihenries, and it is very clear. And then these options are already covered with the multiple different options inside the course, or inside this copies of the questions. So like if you pick from we have here in this chapter, we have, like, let's say 42 different questions. If you pick 7 questions, if you pick, like, as what we have picked here is like about 15 questions out of the 42. If you work more, you could increase this question pool and go a little bit more. You can go to maybe 20, you can go to 25 different questions to cover most of the material covered in the textbook, based on the sections included in the syllabus of this course. Then I want to highlight that you should be clear on the instructions for the students to how he should write down his answer. So the result should be in kilohertz. And this is another instructions: calculate the answer to 2 decimal point. So the precision of the answer should be calculated here, and the unit of the answer should be mentioned somehow to make sure that they should not use a different like number. So if they try to write the answer in hertz and you did not mention that it is in kilohertz, and it will give the wrong answer. So you need to make sure that you specify the unit with a prefix to ensure that the answer is getting right. Then this is the units that you're using, and this is the precision that you're looking forward for in this scenario. So this is what I want to cover in the first part of the questions posed with the precisions and text of questions and answer. Then we will move to the test. If we go back into the same list here and pick the test, then we have to use this pool in different way of testing the students. We could create assignments, we could create practices, we could create quizzes or bonuses for the students. So let's say if we want to create an assignment, here what we need to cover is when the assignment should be submitted to the students, and how the results should be treated. Also, we should cover which questions should appear to which students and in which assignment. So let's see here a quick view. If we look at the assignment, for instance, for the assignment, you could choose a random plug. So you could just simply now we're not in editing mode. If we want, we could edit this, but I don't want to edit these tests. So we could edit and change or add or remove some of these questions. Here we could get total questions of 12 questions for the students. So the assignment will be assigned to a student, and he will have a full week to solve this assignment. And he has 12 questions. And each student has a different set of questions compared to his peer or colleague. So each student will have from easy category will have let's say 6 questions, and from medium he will have like 3 questions, and from hard he will have I think in a 4 and plus 2. So if you add them up, you will have 12 total questions. And then you could rank per each type of questions. Maybe the easy questions you can put it as 10 points. The medium questions you could ranked 15 points, and the hard questions could be ranked as 20 points, based on the level of this the question, maybe from easy, medium, hard. Because he's spending more time on different type of questions, you could change the like question mark based on this. So the total points will be for this assignment is 160, but as you know, you could after he finished this assignment, you could scale this to match the assignment in your course. So if this assignment weight is like 2% or 1%, you need to do a small math using your Excel to change from this scale to your scale. So this is now for the test, and after creating this test, we need to see the time and results, and this will be shown also in the assignment and quizzes later. So this part is just to pick which questions should appear to the students in assignment number 1. So you have the pool, and now you have just to pick which questions should appear to each one. So if you look here, you could see the type of questions or the questions that match the selection of the criteria, and you can see that there are 7 questions which we have already picked or created in the easy pool. Yeah, so now we should move to the next agenda. Now creating the questions in the Blackboard and uploading them. So if we want to create these questions, we should go back to the pools and look at like different like let's say that we want to look at chapter 15, and we will edit this and see now how we could create one of these questions. We could just pick from here and calculated formula, or you can just mark this and ask to do a copy of this, like copy this questions, and it will create similar questions, and you can just edit the text. So if we go ahead and let's go to the pools again, and I would just pick like I will create a different pool here for practice, and then I will just submit. Then we could create the questions, and this should be a calculated formula. And you could write the question title here, and I will advise that if you pick a question from the textbook, try to like categorize this or mention this while you are creating. So if you pick question number 1 in chapter number 11, you could label this like chapter 11 and question number 1. Then you could write the questions that you're trying to do, and let's say that we want to say that convert the following to millimeters. So we could write convert, and this should be in H. So it is capital L, which is the impedance. Where is it here? This should be a variable. Sorry, should be a variable, and then convert this L to millimeters, to Henry. We can just use select from here. No, millihenries. So now what I need to do, if this millihenry is given by a unit of like let's say microhenry, so micro Henry. You can write it this way, or you could just write UH. And you want them to convert from microhenry to millihenry. So this conversion should be divided by 1000. So we can write L, which is the variable that we have chosen here, divided by 1000. So now you could select the range of this, which normally I will put like 2%, and this percentage from numeric to percentage. And then you could allow partial credit if you want, but I'm not allowing this. Then pick the units, because you're specifying that the result should be in milli Henry. And the unit of for percentage, I will write down here 20%. If he got the unit right, he will get 20% of the mark. And if you want to make the unit case sensitive, you could pick this, and you could leave it without case sensitive. It is your option. Then go to the next. And here you can specify this L should go from, let's say, 10 up to 100, and the decimal point should go to 0 if you don't want to create any decimal point. So it will pick from 10 to 100 without a decimal point, and then calculate the answer to 2 decimal points. And number of answers in the set, you could pick 30. You could pick 50 different type of questions. It is your option based on your number of students that you're serving. Then correct answer format, just normal, and go to the next. So based on the calculation that we have given here, it shows that the students has to write in millihenry in this way. So I will advise to go back, because this is very, very difficult to write down in the exams, 0.06, and most of the answers in this percentage. So I will recommend to go back and change the from 100 to let's say 900. So this will make it a bit more confident for the students to do this answer, and they will give two points, not only one of numbers, not only one number. And then if you want to specify some feedback, it is your option, and you could create keywords and so on. So once you're done and satisfied with all options, and you have revised these numbers and make sure that there is no odd answers in the different 50 options or copy of these questions, then you could move on and just submit. And we have 50 different copies of this single questions in our generated practice pool. And you can use it now for whatever things that you could use. We have forget here to write down the instructions for the answers regarding the precision of the answer. Then you could edit, you go back and edit these questions and add that the precision of this should be up to the 2 decimal point for the students, and you could just write it down for them. Okay, so we have covered now how to create these questions in Blackboard. There is another option where we can create outside the Blackboard and upload it. And one of the options is to go with a certain format using a text. You could create, like if you want to have more complicated equations, and you feel that the equations editor here, as we have seen, is not capable to do it, maybe you could use Excel, or you could use some software of programming languages. Maybe you could use different whatever tools that you feel, maybe MATLAB, whatever. Then you could just simply create this text way of creating, and you could also upload images and then simply create options, and you could simply upload this file into one of these pools. So you could just create, we will go back to the pools, and we will create, let's say I want to create another pool here, build pool, so practice, and let's say call it practice 1 or practice upload, let's say practice 1, and then just submit this, and then we could upload these questions. And if we have created, I have used the Excel to create this list of questions. For example, I just created different like variables, and then created like the answers, output of this questions, and then created the options of the answers, and then here is the complete list of the answers, and I've just export to a text file, and to randomize the options to make sure that it's not always the first option is the correct one. So just I have randomized it, then just move to a text, copy this into a text file, txt file, and now just ready to upload these files into like Blackboard. So if we go to this one and pick this questions and submit it, it will show you that these questions has been uploaded, and it is ready for you to use with the pictures. And you can see that these are the answers for the students, and this is a different type of questions, and you can see that there are 100 questions has been created inside the Blackboard with one click. So if you go scroll down, you could find different versions of these questions with different options that students should be able to calculate and analyze the entire circuit. Okay, so these are the two different way of creating questions that I'm using in this course, and I'm trying to just show it to you. And of course, now I have created almost about 2,830 different questions with the help of peers or course mate. Our colleagues could create also maybe another 1,000 or 2,000 questions, and we could build up with these question banks, and we could even change these questions with one click. So if you could go in one of these tests, you could just easily in these pools, you could easily just pick one of these questions, edit them, and create. So let's say that I'm trying to edit these questions, and I can let's use questions which you student did not use it yet. So go back also. Let's move to let's say here chapter 16. If we want to edit these questions, and for example this question has been created with different 30 different copies. If we want to edit them, these questions with this calculation of formulas could be renewed and create another new fresh questions with one click. So once we reach to this, we could just click on calculate, and it will create another 30 different questions with the same formula and with the same type. So these questions and options will be changed. So if you use it in one semester, next semester, or if you use it one exam, next exam, you can just change the entire set with just one click. Now I will cancel this since we have not used it yet. Okay, so these numbers like 280, 2,800 is like not a fixed number. So we could increase it and we could change in the entire set with a few clicks on these pools. Okay, now we have covered the agenda 1, 2. Now we will go to the assignments. If we go to the assessment here, let's say that I'm going to see quiz and assignment number 3. So I have created this settings to show that I have 4 different assignments, and each assignment is linked to a quiz. So 4 different assignments with 4 quizzes. And the students who's taking the assignment, he will be practicing and preparing himself for the quiz, because the quiz and the assignment is focusing on the same pool. So if he covered chapter 11 in this, so he will focus on chapter 11 to understand and then practice during the assignments, and he will be ready for the quiz. And the point here, I've just written down for him to link the students to the chapter of the textbook to make sure that he's studying from the textbook. I list down these good questions to study before start preparing for the assignment. So once he go to the textbook and review these questions, try to solve them, understand them, he will start doing the assignment number 1, for instance. So once he want to start this assignment, I will just show you like how to edit the test options. So here, practically, this is what I have created for them. So this assignment number 1 is given with as unlimited quiz. There are many questions with different level of difficulties. This is graded assignment and you need to submit before the deadline. So you have to create a period of time where the students should go and try this assignment. Maybe you could choose to have it in few days, or you could give it in 1 day, or you could give it even full week, or more or less than that, based on your course structure. So here I have allowed unlimited attempts. So the student will go the first time to the quiz and he will try to solve this, to the assignment, and he will try to solve it. He will get a mark after he ends submitting this assignment. Let's say that he got 50%. So if he got 50% and he wants to correct himself, he could go again to the same assignment. He will get a new set of questions. So even the first attempt was different than the second attempt. So he will start learning from his mistakes, and he will build on his learning curves. And I've noticed during the last 3 semesters that I have implemented this strategy, that students are learning slowly and gradually from different attempts. So in the first attempt, he will get like 10%, then 20%. Then you could gradually notice that he tried to do multiple attempts in the exams, and he got in touch with the teacher to understand how to solve such questions, and makes it much easier for the students and teacher to explain concepts and related things in the chapters that they are focusing on. Once he submits, so you could just put full week for the students if you want to do so, and put the due date, and make sure that the score per questions is shown after submissions, not during submissions. So he will get to know which questions is correct, which questions is not correct, but he will not be able to know the final answer or the correct answer. And that's for setting the multiple attempts and the period of time for the assignments. For the quizzes, in contrast, I have just make sure that the students get one single attempt, and this attempt is taken during the class time, and let's say it is taking 30 minutes, you could change this period like 15 minutes based on the question and difficulties of the questions. And you can see that this is during the class time. So once the students were able to submit this during the class time, he will not be able to see which questions is correct or not correct, but he will get the final grade after the submission. So in this strategy, the assignment will be helping the students to build the knowledge over time. For full week, he will try to solve the questions or the assignment in multiple attempts, and you will notice that the first attempt was like 20%, second attempt increases gradually till he gets, maybe some students really focusing more in this course, they will get the full mark or the 100% on this assignment. And you will see that there is very excellent correlation between the marks that they're getting in the assignment and the quizzes, because they have practicing this assignment a lot. The results will shown also in the quizzes. There is an excellent correlation between the students who's making an excellent in assignments. They will show during the class time that they're getting an excellent grade also in the quizzes. Okay, so we have covered up to point number 4. Moving to the grades, which is the last part of this session. If you go to the list here, you need to look at the grade center and then go to the full grade of the centers, full grade. And you can see that different attempts of the students are shown. Let's say that we want to focus on this students, for example. He tried like 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts, and finally he got the full mark. So the final score of this assignment is 160, and he got the 160. And you can see that he has his attempts increasing from the third one to the end gradually. Maybe if we pick another student, we can see that they try it once. Another students here, if you look at this, he tried maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different attempts, and finally he got a full mark. And sometimes he will repeat the assignments to make sure that he grasp and understand the concepts really in a good manner. And you can see that the students are putting more effort to get these assignments and these concepts digested and understood well. And you can see that it started from 60, 104, 110, and 157, again 132, then he got the full mark. So you can also go to these attempts and look at them really in depth and see how much time he spent in each attempt. Like here, he spent 3 hours, and you could move from one attempt to second attempt to see different information about these attempts, and you see how much time he spent during this exams. Okay, so that's all for me. I hope I have went through all the part that I was trying to explain and makes it clear for you. Of course, the students will, once they have used the system, they will face some difficulties at the beginning because this is a new system for them, and they will not be able to get the full mark immediately. So sometimes they will write different format in the answers. They will not know if they need to use the unit or not, and they will approach you, and you have to go and teach them how to use the system before implementing it completely in your course, especially in the beginning or in the starting period of this course. Thank you for listening, and I'm just here. I will be pleased to answer your questions if you have any. So I don't know if there is something in the chat or if someone wants to ask some questions, contribute and ask some questions. I can see that the internet service is really bad, but this is a recorded session and inshallah will be served to you. Yes, it is recorded, inshallah. Inshallah, inshallah, it will be shared. Okay. Thank you for attending. Okay, again and again, this is a problem for the internet connections. Thanks a lot. Any questions, guys? Gentlemen, do you have any questions? Mr. Abu Bakr? حياك الله دكتور عثمان. شرفنا فيك. I cannot hear your questions or your comment, Mr. Abu Bakr. Also, I noticed.
Yeah, I said thank you very much for your presentation. Jazakallah khairan. Apparently, there are no questions. We can end the session. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Abu Bakr. Thank you.